Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique the butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that. You know it's illegal to do. But did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Can you believe it's only been 2 months into 2024 and already things are heating up like crazy? It's like the year of airing out all the dirty laundry and holding folks accountable. And let me tell you, nobody's getting off easy. And have you noticed how the Club Shay Shay podcast feels like the hottest spot in town for airing out grievances? Ever since that unforgettable Cat Williams interview, it's like everyone's been itching to spill the beans. And you know Monique isn't one to miss out on the action. She's been shouting from the rooftops for years about the injustices she's faced, but it's like her message never quite hit home. But now, with Club Shay Shay gaining traction and everyone eagerly awaiting some juicy gossip, she's seizing the opportunity to share her story once again. And boy, did she deliver. Monique dove headfirst into all the drama from her career. From Tyler Perry throwing around the difficult label because she refused to do extra promotion for her Oscar-winning role in Precious, to her beef with D.L. Hewley, she left no stone unturned. But hold on to your hats, because here's where it gets really interesting. Monique dropped a bombshell about how Lee Daniels supposedly played a part in helping OPR Winfrey damage her career. Can you believe it? Monique's been pointing fingers at this trio, Lee Daniels, OPR Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, for years, alleging they were behind her industry blacklisting. And now she's spilling even more jaw-dropping details we never saw coming. Word on the street is, Lee Daniels and OPR are sweating bullets wondering what Monique might reveal next. And honestly, can you blame them? We've all seen how quickly cancel culture can come for celebs. And if Monique's got the receipts, they might just find themselves on the chopping block. So let's unpack this a bit. How exactly did Lee Daniels allegedly aid OPR in sabotaging Monique's career? Grab your popcorn, folks, because we're about to dive deep into the drama. Now, Monique has been on this crusade, calling out Lee Daniels and OPR Winfrey for what she sees as them messing with her career. It's been brewing for years, but recently she dropped some serious tea on Club Shay Shay. Now, it's kind of ironic because Monique starts off by giving OPR some props. She sees OPR as this powerhouse figure who broke barriers for Black women in the industry, someone who's not afraid to speak truth to power. But, and here's where it gets interesting, Monique's got some serious with OPR, going way back to when she turned down doing international press for Precious. But hold on to your seats, because Monique drops a bombshell about how OPR allegedly snatched up roles that were meant for her. Like, remember The Butler? Yeah, it was supposed to be hers, or so she says. Lee Daniels apparently offered it to her, but when OPR expressed interest, well, you can guess who ended up with the part. And it doesn't stop there. Lee Daniels had this biopic in the works about Richard Pryor. And guess who he wanted to play the grandmother? Monique. But lo and behold, OPR swoops in and claims the role for herself. Now, Monique's not saying OPR intentionally stole these parts, but she's definitely raising some eyebrows about the whole situation. She's like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this, because from where she's standing, it's all looking a bit suspect. Let's rewind a bit to the Monique and OPR showdown. This drama started way back in 2009 when Monique starred in Precious, a movie produced by OPR and Tyler Perry and directed by Lee Daniels. The real kicked off when OPR and Tyler decided Monique should hit the press circuit for the film without any paycheck. Monique wasn't having it and straight up said, nah, not in my contract. According to Monique, she only got a measly $50K for the whole movie, which was barely enough. Now they wanted her to jet around the world promoting the film for free? Not on Monique's watch. But OPR and Tyler didn't take her refusal well at all. Instead, they started trashing her reputation in the industry, spinning a narrative about her being difficult to work with. Monique spilled the tea, saying Tyler Perry told her, you may want to consider promoting this film, because if you get nominated for an Oscar, your next film is $3 to $5 million. And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. Monique was like, hold up, I'm a Black woman. Where are they paying those salaries, brother? She straight up told Tyler, I can't work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I can't go overseas and do this for free. Their back and forth continued, with Tyler saying he doesn't believe in giving money away for free, and Monique firing back, I don't believe in working for free. So we on the same page? It's a classic case of clash in values, and Monique wasn't backing down.
He goes on about his spill, you know. I said, well, listen, you can write me the check for me to go overseas. I don't care where the money comes from, but I'm not going to do it for free.
She also claimed Tyler Perry allegedly went the extra mile to mess with her acting gigs. According to Monique, it all went down after she turned down a request to fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival, tied to promoting the movie Precious. So, check it. The movie studio initially asked her to jet off to France, but Monique, with her busy schedule as a talk show host, comedian, and family woman, respectfully declined. They tried to sweeten the deal by offering to upgrade her hotel room, but she and her husband stuck to their guns, saying, "Nah, we're gonna spend this time with our family." She said, "OPR, I'm doing a talk show, I'm doing a comedy tour, I have a husband and I have babies, I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part." So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with. When the third call came and they asked, "What's it gonna take to get Monique to France?" Her husband straight up asked, "Is there a number associated with it?" That's when they dropped the bomb that they would never pay for anyone to do promotions for a movie. Monique revealed she was paid a mere $50,000 for Precious, and it wasn't about the money. She signed up to do it with her friend. The interviewer dug in, suggesting she needed the money to feed her family and pay bills, and Monique responded, "I think that's what America says. We all say, I can't do it for free." She explained that when the movie studio refused to pay for her Cannes appearance, they didn't make a fuss. But then the reports started flying, painting Monique as demanding and difficult. The whole thing boiled down to a simple request that they understood couldn't be met. But suddenly, Monique found herself labeled, and that's where the drama kicked in.
Because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend. We can't set a precedence and pay you to do this. We didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult.
Monique doesn't stop there. She spilled some more tea during her Apollo set, saying that the term blackballed isn't quite right in her book. In her words, she said, "What is that black D connected to? That black man? So no, I was not blackballed. I was whiteballed by some black Ds who have no balls. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Thank you, Mr. Tyler Perry. Thank you, Miss OPR Winfrey," she continued. "See, I know they like to say, Monique, you talk too mother effing much. It would kill me not to say the real SHT. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly so you can my D if I had one." Media stories start popping up, painting Monique as difficult to work with. Suddenly, no one wanted to cast her, despite her winning an Oscar for her role in Precious. Imagine seeing all your hard work go down the drain. Monique started putting two and two together, realizing someone was out to get her. In a recent chat with The Hollywood Reporter, she spilled the beans that Precious director Lee Daniels admitted she got blackballed for not playing the game. Monique's even called out OPR and Tyler Perry, asking for an apology that, as far as we know, is still MIA. But the drama doesn't end there. A year after the film was released, OPR invited members of Monique's estranged family onto her talk show, against Monique's wishes. Here's the backstory. Monique's brother A'd her when she was 7 to 11, and she had been open about it in a 2008 interview with Essence. Monique confided in OPR about her strained relationship with her parents due to the A, and OPR seemed understanding. Now, Monique's not thrilled about it, to say the least. OPR supposedly gave her a heads up that only her brother was going to be on the show, but surprise, surprise, her mom ends up making an appearance too. And let's just say it stirred up some serious drama in Monique's personal life. People started coming up to her in the store, throwing shade at her mom. Monique's quick to throw in some humor to ease the tension, joking that while the ladies in the store weren't exactly lying about her mom, she still felt the sting. She makes it clear that if OPR had just given her a heads up about bringing her mom on, she would have shut it down real quick. Monique was blindsided seeing commercials featuring her family. OPR had gone back on her word, pretending to be caring. Monique demanded an apology, but OPR offered zilch. No private, no public apology, nothing. So you can imagine the hurt and betrayal Monique's feeling about the whole situation. It's like a punch to the gut, and she's not holding back in calling it what it is, a betrayal. But Monique wasn't done dropping bombs just yet. She went on to spill the tea about how Tyler Perry cost her and her family tens of millions of dollars over a rumor he started about her. She recounted the whole situation, saying that Tyler told her he'd never do anything to hurt her, but then later admitted to starting a false rumor that she was difficult to work with. Monique didn't hold back, expressing her frustration and disappointment, especially after Tyler's initial denial. She went on to talk about how during her conversation with Shannon, she referenced an interview he did with Kat where he admitted to letting people lie in his face because he didn't know if they were lying or not. Monique made it clear that she wanted Shannon to hear Tyler's own words, so she sent him the audio recording of their conversation. And let me tell you, it wasn't a walk in the park. Monique revealed that she recorded the conversation legally, which she emphasized was crucial for her as a Black woman facing off against someone as powerful as Tyler Perry. She explained that having the audio proof was a game changer, as it prevented her from being dismissed or ignored.
Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Monique didn't mince words about the impact of Tyler's actions on her and her family. She stressed that the lie Tyler spread cost them a staggering amount of money, leaving them in a tough spot financially. It was a tough pill to swallow, and Monique didn't hesitate to share the weight of the consequences of Tyler's actions.
You know it's illegal to, but did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Monique kept the conversation going, pointing out the irony of having issues with the same people Kat had mentioned. She mentioned how some folks had reached out to Tyler Perry on her behalf, and she appreciated the support. One notable figure was none other than Reverend Al Sharpton, a heavyweight in civil rights. Monique recalled how she sent him the audio recording, and he seemed genuinely concerned, even likening her to his own daughter and vowing to address the situation. However, despite his initial assurances, Monique didn't hear from him for a whopping 6 months. The next time she did, it was during a public appearance where Al Sharpton was singing praises about Tyler Perry's private jet. Monique couldn't help but wonder if that explained the radio silence.
We didn't hear from Al Sharpton for 6 months. The next time we saw Al Sharpton, he was on a podium talking about we don't need to fly commercial because we can fly Tyler Perry's private jet.
Then there was her close friend, Stephanie Mills, who's known for her no-nonsense attitude. Monique confided in her and shared the audio recording. While she wasn't sure if Stephanie had listened to it, she did inform Monique that Tyler Perry wasn't interested in revisiting the issue. Disappointed but not defeated, Monique recounted how Tyler Perry called Stephanie back during their conversation, offering to meet with Monique but under the condition that her husband not be present. This didn't sit well with Monique, who refused to publicly apologize for something she didn't do, especially to OPR Winfrey. She made her stance clear through Stephanie, asserting that she'd never meet with Tyler Perry without her husband by her side, and she had no intention of giving in to pressure to apologize for a lie. It was a stand she was willing to take, no matter the consequences.
Now you ready for this?
Yeah.
And then Monique has to apologize publicly to say Oprah and I had nothing to do with messing up her career.
But that'd be a lie.
So I said, Stephanie, tell Tyler Perry never will I meet with him without my husband. And I owe no apology, so I'm not going to give one.
Now, Monique isn't the only one who's claimed to have faced Oprah's alleged mistreatment. Other big names in the industry have also spoken out. For instance, Fantasia just went off on OPR, dishing out the details on how she supposedly had them on edge during the filming of The Color Purple. Even Fantasia, who usually keeps clear of drama, jumped into the mix, and that says something. It seems like OPR really put them through the ringer. The accusations are flying fast and furious, from getting lowballed on pay to being left practically starving on set. Can you believe it? And here's the kicker. They're dishing that OPR made them trek to set for crazy long hours every day without any security, and they had to squeeze into the same trailer. Hold up though, wasn't the budget for The Color Purple like a whopping $100 million? Where did all that cash vanish to? So let's break it down. How in the world did OPR sign up to produce a project where these talented Black actresses were allegedly treated like second-class citizens? It's a head-scratcher for sure. Now, Fantasia, who rocked Celie's character in The Color Purple, isn't one to stay quiet about her feelings. She straight up said, "I have never allowed this industry to change me." And check this, she spilled that there were times when she felt invisible and unliked. But she's dropping wisdom her grandma used to dish out. What's the profit of a person gaining the whole world but losing their soul? Stay focused, baby. So, Fantasia's got Taraji P. Henson's back, and they're both pointing fingers at OPR. Fantasia's basically living proof of the whole deal, having experienced it firsthand. Now, Taraji's throwing some serious shade at OPR for making the cast roll up to set in rented cars day in and day out. Here's the scoop. These actors are pulling insane hours, like we're talking 12 to 15 hours a day. So by the time they wrap up, they're practically zombies, and now they gotta hit the road in that state. It's a recipe for disaster and raises the odds of accidents big time. And get this, no security, driving in the dead of night, risking getting jacked, plus those rental cars aren't even theirs, so any dings or scratches. And guess who's coughing up the cash? Yep, the actors. In a New York Times interview, Taraji spilled even more tea about how they were treated on The Color Purple set. She straight up said the producers wanted everyone to show up to work in rental cars until she put her foot down. Taraji was like, "Hold up, I can't be driving myself to set in Atlanta. This is an insurance liability. It's dangerous." She didn't stop there. She demanded a driver or security, and not just for herself. She told them, "If you're doing it for me, you gotta do it for everybody." Taraji spilled the beans, saying it's stuff she shouldn't have to fight for. She reminisced about being on the set of Empire, fighting for trailers that weren't infested with bugs. And when the fans caught wind of this, oh boy, they were on fire. The entire internet joined forces to drag OPR through the mud for letting this mess go down on a project she claims meant the world to her. So Danielle Brooks, OPR, and Taraji all sat down for an interview, aiming to hype up the movie. But then Danielle just dropped a bomb of truth. Turns out, in the first few weeks of rehearsals, none of the ladies had their own trailers. Nope, they had to share one single trailer for everything. Picture this, zero privacy, just all crammed into one space. But wait, there's more. During those grueling 12 to 15-hour shifts, they weren't even getting fed or hydrated. Allegedly, they had to bring their own food from home just to survive the day. Now that's shady business right there. When Danielle spilled all this tea, OPR looked visibly bothered, annoyed even. She quickly went on the defense, claiming she had no clue what was going on. But as soon as she got wind of it, supposedly it was like, "Oh my bad, gotta fix this." It's almost like she was trying to cover her tracks, acting like she didn't know until someone blew the whistle. Now Danielle gave OPR some credit, saying she helped them out immediately after hearing about their struggles. But folks weren't having it because, let's be real, they shouldn't have had to speak up in the first place. Basic needs should have been sorted out before it became a thing to gripe about. The whole situation's a disaster, and it's mind-blowing that it took the entire cast raising hell multiple times just to get something done. But here's the kicker. Fantasia's behind the scenes, reportedly backing up everything Danielle and Taraji spilled. Word on the street is that Fantasia isn't going public with her criticism of OPR because they go way back. We're talking 2007 when Fantasia snagged the role of Celie on Broadway. Fantasia's not trying to make OPR an enemy in public, allegedly worried about getting blacklisted like Monique. But behind the scenes, she's apparently writing hard for Taraji and Danielle, supporting everything they've laid down about OPR. Now, it may look like OPR hasn't just been giving a hard time to the ladies, the guys haven't been spared either. And we are starting off with 50 Cent. So 50's been calling out OPR for a hot minute, accusing her of shady moves, especially when it comes to black actors. He straight up accused her of throwing black actors under the bus while protecting the predators with a lighter skin tone. The dude doesn't hit the pause button on this feud for real. Back in the day when 50 Cent was hitting the big time with his music, he had dreams of making an appearance on Oprah's show. This wasn't just about boosting his image from a Queens ex dealer to a successful rapper. It was also about making his grandma super proud, who happened to be a big OPR fan. But when he pitched the idea to OPR, she shut him down cold, making it clear she wasn't interested in anything 50 Cent had going on. Ouch. 50 took this rejection to heart and accused OPR of being against black music, especially the kind he was making. He even took his trolling game up a notch by naming his dog after OPR and his cat after Oprah's ride or die, Gayle King. Now let's talk about this Oreo comment. 50 Cent threw some serious shade Oprah's way, calling her an Oreo, black on the outside, but supposedly aligned with the white perspective on the inside. This all started when OPR came at 50 for his raw lyrics, claiming he and others were pushing negativity onto the culture. But 50 wasn't having it. He hit back, shining a light on what he perceives as Oprah's split stance. According to him, she started with black women's views but shifted gears to cater to middle-aged white American women for so long that she's basically become one herself. Also, when Taraji spilled the tea about practically having to beg for fair pay on the new Color Purple remake produced by OPR, 50 threw some support Taraji's way. He took to Instagram, sharing a screenshot about Taraji shaking up her team after they didn't capitalize on her success in Empire. The post was captioned, "They dropped the ball, FM, Taraji P. Henson. I'm ready to work. Let's get it." 50 also stood by Monique, launching a whole campaign to help Monique out, and even had a private chat with Tyler Perry in defense of the Oscar-winning actress.
I was like, canceled, like Monique, why is she canceled? I had to revisit that because it was like, it didn't make sense to me.
In a sit-down on Big Boy's Neighborhood in January, 50 spilled the beans about Monique's casting in the second season of his series BMF, and how he stepped up to reignite her career. According to 50, he asked Tyler about Monique's cancellation, and Tyler's response was like, "I never told no one not to work with her." But 50 hit him with the real talk, saying, "But you're Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone to." He couldn't wrap his head around why Monique was out of the game for 13 whole years just because of something she said. Now, fast forward to March last year, and 50 Cent stepped up, declaring he wanted to see Monique dominating Hollywood again, and he's ready to make it happen. The Candy Shop MC was on a mission. He even called out OPR Winfrey and Tyler Perry, saying they need to apologize for the alleged damage they did to Monique's career. 50 wrote on social media, "I'm sure OPR Winfrey and Tyler Perry would not want to continue to allow their influence to damage Mo's career, and this has gone on for way too long. So now would be a great time to apologize because I'm going to put her back on. I don't miss." Basically, 50 Cent has been in Monique's corner since catching her live during Super Bowl weekend. After giving her props for a killer show, he called out fans for canceling the Parker's actress and made it clear he's on a mission to see her back on top. But 50 Cent isn't the only one who's been onto Oprah's vibe for a minute. Ludacris had his own run-in with her, way back in 2005. So, Luda and the crew from Crash hit up Oprah's show to promote the movie, right? Sounds cool, but nah, OPR had some other plans. Instead of giving Ludacris a chance to talk about his role, she straight up put him on blast for using the N-word in his music. Luda wasn't having it though. In an interview, he spilled the beans saying, "I was there for Crash, the movie. And basically, she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie."
Yeah. And basically, she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course, I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my music.
Right.
Now, here's where it gets messed up. Luda, being the smart dude he is, fired back with some real talk. But OPR wasn't having any of it. She cut out Ludacris's comeback, making it look like he just took the hit without saying a word. Luda spilled the tea, saying, "She was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal. And when I saw the final show, her words were in there, it was in there, but mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it." Well, it seems like Monique might have been onto something all this time. It's honestly mind-blowing to wrap your head around. And now that Club Shay Shay is like the new hotspot for airing out drama, who knows what other celebs might come forward with their own tea. So what's your take on all this craziness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video.